Hello everyone, so I'm here again before you with my another video on specific performance of contract. Basically, in our last video we had dealt with section 16 of specific performance act, and today we are going to start with section 17, 18 and 19 of this particular act only, where we are talking about certain circumstances where specific performance of contract is not possible. So starting with Section 17 of Specific Relief Act provides for contract to sell or let property by one who has no title not specifically enforceable. So we are here talking about a situation where a particular vendor or lessor is not having the proper title to sell or let the property, and in that case later on such person cannot ask for the specific performance of such contract. Basically this particular section 17 supplements section 16 of the act. However, it differs from section 16 in two aspects. Number one is that there is bar only applicable to contracts to sell or let immovable property or sale or hire of movable property. Secondly, these bars are only applicable to a vendor or a lessor or seller or owner. Basically, these bars apply to a vendor or lessor who either on account of his own carelessness or otherwise is unable to pay, to pass, or to give on a good title of the property. Means basically what? That the person is not having a proper title, so basically he cannot give what he himself is not having with himself. So here, basically, the vendor or lessor is not able to give a good title to the purchaser or the lessee. Section 17 basically stipulates that a contract to sell or let any immovable property cannot be specifically enforced in the favor of a lessor or vendor when the lessor or vendor knowingly himself not to have any title to the property has contracted to sell or let the property, or the vendor or lessor though entered into the contract believing he had a good title to the property cannot later on at the time fixed by the parties or by the court for the completion of the sale or letting give the purchaser or the lessee a title free from reasonable doubt. बेसिकली क्लॉज बी जो है सेक्शन 17 का, इट इज फर्दर एक्सटेंडिंग द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द प्रोविजंस ऑफ सेक्शन 1 सबसेक्शन 1 to the contracts of sale or hire of movable properties also. Basically section 17 is applying to both movable as well as immovable properties. This particular section is basically based upon a maxim or principle which is nemo dat code norm habit. It basically means that no one can confer a better title than he himself has. One has to have a good title or proper title in order to enter into a particular contract to sell or let property if such person wants to later on ask or seek for specific enforcement of such contracts. One of the preconditions to seek the relief of specific relief under this particular act is that a party himself should be in a position to perform his part of contract. A person who is not in a position to perform his part of the contract cannot insist on specific performance by other party as well. That is why we are saying under section 17 that the person should have a good title, and if he is not having any good title to let or sell the property, later on the person cannot ask for the specific performance of such contracts. If we talk about section 18 of Specific Relief Act, it is talking about non-enforcement except with variation. The name, the title of the particular section itself is stating that no specific enforcement of a particular contract is possible except with the variations. What the section is stating is that plaintiff is seeking specific performance of a contract, but the defendant has set up certain kind of variations. Thus, the section is providing that cases where the plaintiff cannot obtain specific performance without submitting or agreeing to the variations set up by the defendant. Here, the section states that certain cases are there where the plaintiff, if he wants to get his contract specifically enforced, he has to agree to the variations which are put on by the defendant concerned. And these certain cases are cases of fraud, mistake of fact, misrepresentation, which ultimately leads to ambiguity as to what was the actual intention of the parties while they were entering into a particular contract. Second situation is where the parties entered into a contract with a certain intention. They wanted to have a specific legal output or legal result from that particular contract, but the ultimate result which came out from that particular contract was not which was expected by the parties concerned. And third situation is where the parties have subsequently, after the execution of the contract, have varied the terms of the contract. So in these three situations, if the defendant sets up certain kind of variation, the plaintiff cannot seek specific performance of the contract until and unless he agrees to what the defendant has set up. So basically, clause A and B of this particular section deals with the defect or insufficiency in the written document arising out of circumstances at the time of making of contract, whereas clause C deals with the circumstances arising after the contract has been made. So one is a subsequent performance of contract, and two aspects are talking about a situation where the contract was yet into formation and it led to certain kind of ambiguity, or otherwise the ultimate result which the parties were expecting from that particular contract didn't come up. So in that particular situation, section is stating that if a particular plaintiff wants to have a specific performance of the contract, he has to agree to what the defendant has expressly set up, certain kind of variation which the defendant has set up. Talking about section 19 of Specific Relief Act, it is talking about the relief against parties and persons claiming under them by subsequent title. If you remember, we had read about section 15 in one of our previous videos where we were talking about who can seek for specific performance. It is a reciprocating section to that particular section, where here we are talking about the persons against whom relief can be sought. So section 19 is stating about the categories of people against whom we can seek specific performance. Reference can be taken from section 15, where we were talking about the right of persons who can ask for specific performance or relief under Specific Relief Act. So basically section 19 is talking about category 1, that is either party. So relief can be sought against either party to the contract or against person claiming under them, means the legal representatives of the party to the contract. But the section is also stating that in no case any relief can be sought or contract can be enforced against a third party who has acquired interest in the property in good faith for value and without any notice of the original contract. Means what we are trying to say, that there was a contract between two parties and some third party also acquired interest in that particular property, but he was unaware about that existence of original contract and he has entered into good faith plus had paid consideration or money also for that particular contract. Apart from that, the section is also stating that the contract or the relief can be sought against any person who is claiming under title, even if he is displaced by the defendant prior to the contract. Means a particular person was there, a party or person existing at the time of making of the contract, but before the contract is complete, the defendant had displaced that particular person. So against that particular person also the relief can be sought. Or if there is a case of amalgamation of companies, the new company which has originated or come out as a result of amalgamation of two previous companies, against such new company also you can ask or you can seek relief under section 19 of specific relief act. Last category is against the promoters, like we did in section 15. Here also against the company we can seek relief when the promoters of company had entered into a pre-incorporation contract which was later on ratified by the company concerned. So whenever a particular company ratifies any contract, it becomes bound by the terms of that particular contract. So if a particular contract was entered into by the promoters of that particular company and the company has later on ratified to that particular contract, then relief can be sought against section 19 against such particular company also. So this was all about section 17, 18 and 19. I hope you like this video, and if there is any kind of question or issue, you can always put in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for new videos. Thank you so much.